What's up, guys? Welcome to Sessions. Welcome to part 2 of writing a song. In the last video, I quickly demoed a song on the guitar, and I sang some guide vocals over it. And what we're going to be doing in this video is taking that very rough idea and turning it into something more cohesive. So I have my session in front of me right now, and what I did is I already tracked guitar. So we have the Nashville tuning guitar in tracks 1 through 4, and then 5 through 8 is the 12-string guitar. So what I usually do at this point is I start adding instruments, virtual instruments, VSTs, like drums and bass and piano and whatever comes to mind. And after I'm happy with that, I decide, okay, this is what the song is going to sound like. And I take that to the studio and I replace the virtual instruments with actual instruments. So the VST drums will be tracked on an actual kit, and the bass likewise, and so on and so forth. Right, so what I have today in front of me to help me through this process is a tiny controller. It's a MIDI USB controller. I could use the big one, but for quick things like this is more than enough, I find. Right, so let's get started. First thing I did, which was not filmed, I didn't film the tracking of the guitars because, you know, whatever. That's I'll show some of that later on in part 3. But first thing I usually do is I decide on a tempo, and for that I use an application on my iPhone. It's a metronome and it has a tap tempo function. So what I did is I just sang the part that I had recorded in part 1, and I tapped along. And it turned out to be 148, 149. It was oscillating between those two things. I decided to go with an even 150. So that's the tempo of my song. So I set that up here, 150 right there, if you guys can see that. And I tracked the guitars. Actually, you know what? Here, let's take a listen. There's the clicks going. Right, so this is all prone to change. I mean, this is based on part 1, what I had, but down the line, any number of things could change. The structure could change. I could add a verse, I could remove a verse, I could add a chorus. But for now, as a starting point, I'm happy with this part. So, what are we gonna do now? First thing I like to do is add some drums, just to give it some backbone. I feel that if you add drums, then adding bass lines becomes much easier. And I already have sort of an image of what I want the drums to be doing in this song. So I'm gonna do that first, okay? So let's go ahead and add our virtual drum kit. I got Easy Drummer here. Drag that on. I'm using Studio One version 3 by Presonus. I love it. It's amazing. Workflow is a beautiful thing. Right, so we have our basic kit set up. There's your kick, snare. Okay, so let's see if my controller is armed. Okay, so let's move down an octave. Alright, so there's my kick, there's my snare, my other snare, toms, from low to high. Okay, so I'm not good enough to play the whole thing at once. I know a lot of people are. They're just used to it. I'm not used to doing that. So what I usually do is I'll track kick and snare, and then I'll track like cymbals on top of that. So let's do that. Let's get that going. I'm recording on this cam. Okay. Arm our metronome. Let's just see what happens. So this is we're strictly doing kicks and snares, and maybe some fills. Let's do that. Let's press record. Boom. More on it. Where's my cymbal? My ride. Very basic. I messed up a bunch, but that's okay. It's how I feel about the parts that matters, right? So I have somewhat of an idea of what I want the parts to do. I think in the bridge section where the downbeat was changing, I think I'll fix that. I think I might fix that because I think I came in too early with that. So now that we have our kicks and our snares and some fills recorded, I'm gonna add hi-hats and crashes and things like that. I'll be back in a second. Alright, so now that we've added the drums, I'm gonna add some bass guitar. Very rough, but just to get sonically close to where we wanna go. Alright, so I've loaded up Moto Bass. It's an amazing plugin by IK Multimedia, I think. Yep, IK Multimedia. Great plugin. And I've loaded up the trusty Rickenbacker bass. We have a Rickenbacker in the studio, so I'll be recording on that. And alright, let's do it. Record. There will be mistakes, I guarantee. Alright, time for some classic Mellotron goodness. Got drop easy keys on here. Mellotron is loading. I think if you put Mellotron on anything, it'll sound epic. Okay, play with the tuning. Yep, drop it down half. Third key. Okay, I don't want a recorder sound. I want, let's see, boys choir. How does that sound? Take it up an octave. Let's see. I like that. For now, remember, this is all preliminary stuff, right, guys? So we're just getting close to what we want. We'll fix all the little inconsistencies and work on the sounds, but for now, we're just getting one step closer. Okay, I like that. So let's go ahead and add that to... Should we do it in the intro? Let's see how that feels. I don't know. Maybe. But let's go to the parts where we're sure it's gonna be. Here we go. Now that we've done that, we're getting close to what we want. Next, what I'll do is I'll fix up all the timing issues and things like that. And this is pretty much the process. I mean, this is what I do when I'm trying to come up with something. This is step by step what I do. The next part will be finalizing the song, working on the lyrics and doing all that stuff, and going into the studio and actually recording things. We're almost there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part of writing a song, and stay tuned for the next one. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.